I hate that shit. I'm sorry, but it's so dope. Normal language. Spam this in all the discords I'm in.
This
Knowing all of
tweet is taking on water captain. So when does the time start for SpongeBob? Is it on
The
new?
time starts is so I'll have. It's pretty much right when I hit no right here. Well, you'll see it on the stream in a little bit, but it's like once you start a new game, it asks you if you want to make a save file or whatever, and then once you hit no, you start the time.
Oh, okay.
And
What's
then
your
time
PB?
ends-
Oh.
My PB is probably like an hour 20. It's an hour 20 and 35 seconds.
Okay, okay. Yeah, maybe Mario will be later, but tonight it's gonna be SpongeBob. Sup Nightly, welcome back. All right.
Yeah, I think with this beginner route, the best time you can get is like around like a minute or an hour, 13 minutes or so.
Okay, okay. Let's see. You practice a little bit before the stream?
Oh yeah, of course.
Nice. Alright, you guys ready to go? Avian and Yamin?
Yep. I'm
Yeah,
ready.
whenever.
Alright. I'm gonna count you down, Danny.
Okay.
Ready?
Yep.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
not saving his progress or anything.
Damn,
No, we don't got time for
hardcore.
that. It's pretty interesting though, because in the like intermediate version of this like run, you actually do create a save file because there's like a save like glitch exploit
Oh.
that you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not really sure how it works because I hadn't like gotten around to learning that route, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
It's
So
cool.
you like exit the game, come back in, and like go to somewhere else.
No, I think it has something to do with like I think it's some type of like I honestly don't even know how it works. Like I just know that it's like stuck saving, and then like while it's stuck saving, you can like, you know, go places like go out of bounds or something.
Oh man, that's
Some
some
way
black
that you can-
magic.
yeah.
Yo, what's
This
up,
game-
Mac? Welcome.
Yeah,
This
so
is
like, what's up?
Cute, right?
What'd you say?
But oh, I don't know. What I'm doing right now is like pretty much every run starts like this. You disable the hand by like going over here and having them like pull you away to jellyfish fields, and like this allows you to go out of bounds anywhere without getting like pulled away by the hand. And if you ever mess up, you have to like re-disable him. So
Is it?
So it's a wrong part, is what you're saying.
no, I wouldn't say it's like a wrong warp. It like it's kind of like that when you go into the jellyfish fields, but I mean throughout the game, it pretty much just keeps you safe from like, or it allows you to go to places where you're usually not supposed to be able to go.
Right.
For sure.
Yeah.
Avian or Yamin, do you wanna go over the agenda?
Yeah. So for this, we're looking to, I guess, want to like deconstruct SpongeBob a little bit, talk about why the show is so good, why it's so meaningful to both of us, and why we're even doing this in the first place. So
Yeah, so a big part is like, you know, its legacy and like what makes it so good, important, all of that. Like the then versus now, talking about like modern SpongeBob and like how it got worse, like changed a lot over time, all that type of stuff.
big reason for that being Steven Hillenburg's lack of involvement and his like moving away from the series, and that being the kind of the reason SpongeBob became worse and like not what it was in the first 3 seasons. Yeah. So that's generally what we'll be talking about. Of course, we're gonna go in depth about everything else, and of course, I have chat open and everything. So anyone want to chime in with things or opinions or whatever, and, you know, have a discussion about whatever.
Sounds
Yeah, we're
good.
keeping this pretty like casual. We don't want to get like super pretentious about like analyzing SpongeBob, but also we do want to analyze SpongeBob. So, you know.
We getting mad pretentious.
Keep a balance. Remember that, you know, this is a cartoon. It's a really good cartoon, but it's a cartoon.
We're going full college class on it.
Yeah,
Oh, let's go.
Yeah, introducing ourselves. I'm a TV writing grad student right now. So interested in like getting into that professionally, which is part of why, you know, really into like analyzing this kind of stuff, talking about why I like it. So
For sure.
Phone's unplugged, but I don't know if you said, but what these days? Yeah, I mean,
huh?
what are you up to these days? Yeah, I mean, like, what are you
Oh,
studying?
I was just telling them how, yeah, I'm studying TV writing in grad school. So, yeah, that's part of why I'm interested in like writing for animation, and so like analyzing one of my favorite cartoons, you know, helps me out with that, and it's also just fun to do. Yeah.
I missed it because my headphones unplugged. But yeah, also I just graduated last May with a degree in like TV writing and production, and I'm currently TAing for one of my teachers or former teachers at Second City. So I'm
Oh, that's sick.
a bunch of comedy peeps.
That's sick. I didn't know
Hell yeah.
you're doing Second City.
Downtown.
Danny, do you want to introduce yourself real quick?
Oh yeah. So yeah, I'm Danny. Pretty funny thing. The reason I have Indiana Gamer on my as one of my titles is because I'm going to be a roulette dealer actually, and like the way working at a casino works, like you have to get what they call a gaming license. So like, kind of like to joke around and say like, I'm an Indiana Gamer. But,
Okay.
yeah, I go to, you know, play Melee and shit. So
Cool.
pretty
Forget
much,
If
pretty
you
much
game,
me. Huh?
Yeah,
if you get
we're.
arrested
Sorry,
without
go
a
ahead.
license,
I'm sorry.
you're cutting off.
You're
My
cutting
audio.
out.
I wonder if I fixed that. I was saying, would you get arrested if you were gaming without a license in Indiana?
Yeah, you're actually like not allowed to like, yeah, do that. Like if they found out like that the casino like was letting people not, or like letting people work without that license or whatever, like shut the shit down or whatever.
Jesus.
Yeah, they're
Hardcore.
serious about it. It's actually so. It was kind of like intimidating. I'm like, damn, what the? I were just like spinning the ball around or something.
Yeah. I just fixed my sensitivity thing, so hopefully it doesn't.
Yeah, it seems to be better.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm still okay.
Yeah, you're good, dude.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Oh yeah, and I
what
guess
do you-
I'll introduce myself real quick. I'm Juna. I play Mario sometimes. And I actually haven't watched a whole lot of SpongeBob. Don't know a whole lot about the speedrun either, so I'm gonna be a learner during the stream.
Nice. Before we start, if you don't mind, Juna, if you could go to the clips thing,
Yeah.
video feed to Harold Chugs Mayo for 10 hours.
Okay, hold on.
I have it highlighted.
Yeah, this early part, like, there's not too much going on, so like, now's a pretty good time to start setting the foundation.
Okay, cool,
Yeah.
cool.
Right, so yes, I mean starting off like I mean both going into writing, it's like SpongeBob is obviously super I'm specifically trying to go into children's writing, so it's like I want to take a lot of notes when I guess just SpongeBob was a huge influence when I was a kid. So there was this one specific interview where like his writing credit is Mr. Lawrence.
Yeah, he's also Plankton's voice actor.
Yeah. He's a Plankton voice actor, which it's very distinct.
Dude's good at his job. All of them are. Yeah.
Yeah, writing and voice acting. He said that they discussed he said stuff like they always did stuff they just wanted to do on the first 3 seasons. They just kind of made surreal stuff that appealed to them and their sense of humor, and didn't really try to make a show that like Nickelodeon wanted or like really anyone was asking for, but they just kind of did whatever. And I think that's like the ultimate goal of, I don't know. And I think that's like, I guess starting off with, in addition to the introduction, it's like a big reason me and Yamin wanted to do this specific
Mhm.
podcast.
Yeah, this is just like really fun, really creative, all of that, and just like well executed as a whole. Just like great cartoon.
Shows on
One of my
TV.
favorites growing up. Still one of my favorites. Yeah. And you know, bigger than us, it just like has that huge lasting legacy that's like really well deserved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Danny? Do you speedrun this because you like the show, or you just like the game, or just the speedrun?
So like, I got into speedrunning it because I saw like Shiv stream it one day. I think Mango hosted him or something.
Oh shit.
And yeah, I was like, holy shit, like, you know, people actually speedrun this. And like, Shiv does a really good job of describing it, but like a lot of people remember this game, but like not, you know, as fondly as you might remember like a Sunshine or an SM64 or something. But it's actually like a really sick game, and like when I got into like watching his runs, I got really interested in like learning the game. And then plus like everyone here, I'm sure, well, with the exception of Judah, SpongeBob was one of my favorite shows growing up. So
Do you have a favorite episode?
Yeah.
what's that?
Favorite episode or like moment that like comes to mind? Not trying to put you on the spot or anything, but like
Like in like where there was like, all right, I'm gonna start running this.
no, like in the show itself.
Oh, I don't know. I think like all of the first 3 seasons. I think a lot of people really resonate with so many of the episodes. They can relate to like a lot of it.
Yeah, basically all of them are like all of the first 60 are just like really solid, honestly. Got something good to them. And then later on, after Hillenberg left, like there were more issues, which we'll be getting into, but you know,
Right.
yeah.
And so I mean, I think one of the biggest things with people, and of course, I think I hear a lot of people quoting or talking about, or even the memes you see online, they're all pretty much from this first 3 seasons, or something like that. There's a couple exceptions, you know, like the one with the mocking SpongeBob.
Yeah, that's a later one, but almost everything else, because that's just like the canon that formed that like everyone cares about.
Yeah, I mean, you also have things like what was the other one? Like Who Put You on the Planet? I don't know. That came out. It was weird, even animation wise. I can put a picture of it in the clips thing, dude. You can pull it up.
SpongeBob looks so goofy here.
Yeah, it was actually yeah, I didn't want to like cut anyone off, but like that trick right there, it's called sponge gliding. You pretty much just like use your momentum to like carry you as you or like essentially glide along. Like you take damage and it kind of like boosts you.
Oh, it's like a
and
damage
you
boost.
pretty much just like propel yourself forward, getting stuck in this animation. And he makes this funny face.
Gotcha.
Nice.
Yeah, I didn't know if that was. Yeah, there it is.
Sponge glide. It. Cream in that one painting.
Sup eggs, sup
Oh,
rosebud.
like the painting?
Yeah, the screen painting. Am I still coming off?
Not that I noticed.
Not as much.
No, I think you're okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Some people in chat are sharing their favorite episodes. Yeah, Band Geeks is definitely one of my favorites. Also, Wet Painters, Chocolate with Nuts. Those are probably like top 3. Training Video is also amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
training video might be one of my favorites.
Yeah, the thing about Training Video, like, so that was like season 3, and by that point, because they had so much established foundation-wise, then they could like really just like play with expectations, have something that was like totally different from a regular episode, and like, you know what you're getting into.
Right, exactly like Kayan said with Doodle Bob. Doodle Bob just being like out of left field, and them like acknowledging that there's a world outside Bikini Bottom.
Yeah, they do that a lot with like weird live action segments and like I don't know, it's part of like the world they constructed, you know?
Yeah, they had a lot of stuff like the perfume department in the episode with the Flying Dutchman, where that's how they had to escape.
God damn
Yeah.
it.
Stuff like the fish, the anchorfish, and even like the pirate in the intro. So all this random live action stuff. Oh yeah, like the ape
Yeah,
costume.
Patchy.
Yeah. Patrick the Pirate was actually Tom Kenny, which is the voice of SpongeBob. He did a bunch of stuff on the show.
He's Gary too. Important role.
He's the hot sauce in that one episode, karate
Oh yeah, he's
episode.
basically the hot sauce. He was the showering guy.
Yeah, I forget what episode that was.
Yeah, but no, he did it all.
Sup,
Yeah.
Can? Streamlord, thanks for the host of 98 viewers. Welcome, everybody.
Yeah, do you want to talk about let's see, I guess just like, you know, early foundation of the show, how it changed, all that stuff, or what?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Just dive right in. We don't have to preface it. But Larfin brings up a good point. And Tom Kenny was on Mr. Show, which was Bob Odenkirk and David Cross, which is another really good. Sorry, hold on. I'm looking.
Wait, Bob
Yeah,
Odenkirk was in the show?
A really.
No, he was on a.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh yeah, he was on a different show with Tom Kenny.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Mr. Show, which was a sketch show that Bob Odenkirk and David Cross did. David Cross being Tobias from Arrested Development.
Right. Yeah, yeah.
The attorney from Breaking Bad is his most famous thing now, but he was
Yeah.
a comedic earlier on. He did a lot of improv in Chicago. Tried to get to SNL a couple times, but a writer for a little bit, but he ended up leaving.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that kind of stuff ended like pretty soon before SpongeBob, looks like, and that's became just like his huge role since then. Like he basically doesn't need to do anything else, but he still does. Tom Kenny's amazing in Adventure Time as Ice King.
I was gonna say, he's actually everywhere.
Yeah, he is everywhere. But like the thing is, he doesn't need to be. You know, like SpongeBob's
Yeah.
so successful, it could be his only role, but like, you know, he wants to voice act. Clearly, he's having fun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
you
that's
can tell.
pretty awesome. He didn't let it like define him. Like, he went on to keep doing like a bunch of other great stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Like he was Dog and Cat Dog as well. The mayor in Powerpuff Girls.
Oh, man. These are some
Classic.
classics. I haven't thought about these shows in a while.
Yeah, recently Tom Kenny did like this big I don't know if it was like a promotional thing. He was being interviewed by a lot of different like websites. There were all these different like videos he was making. That's where there was one of them where he was rating different people's SpongeBob impressions.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was just like, you know, very like generous to everyone, just like praising everyone before like saying anything else. I don't know. Chill
Yeah,
dude.
even if someone was doing something which they were doing the impression and I was just like, I don't know, they're doing this thing, blah blah blah, and then Tom Kenny would come in and just be like, oh, they're getting this very specific thing that I do, and it's like, damn, I can't contradict Tom Kenny. I can't be an asshole. In one of those interviews, he said something like, which I think really resonated with me, and I think it wasn't obvious until he said it, but he said like SpongeBob has really like high highs and really low lows emotionally. But he's like relatable. And
Yeah, it's like a fun
super
character to
expressive.
follow. Yeah. He's expressive in that. You see it in the animation, you see it in the voice acting.
yeah, it's like whatever SpongeBob does, he does it 110%. It's never like he's never hesitant or reluctant with his emotions, which I think is really. It's not something people usually do, right? But it makes it very relatable.
It's fun, yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun to watch.
Or it's like it's pretty nice for people who aren't like that, because like they can like see or like resonate with something where they wouldn't typically like act that way themselves.
Yeah, exactly. I think Tom Kenny, even in the interview, said, "I don't need a therapist because I have SpongeBob." the comedians talk about a lot, right? They talk about like especially I've been super absorbed with Conan lately. I'm like reading a book about his whole fiasco with Leno.
Conan O'Brien?
Fiasco with the Tonight Show
Oh, yeah.
thing that happened in 2010 when he didn't get the show, but he had it for like 7 months. Comedians talking a lot about like a comedy or whatever they're doing, their work being like an outlet for depression or anxiety or like other stuff they're doing. And I like that even Tom Kenny, the voice of SpongeBob, this like happy little go-getter kid, this weirdo adult, is talking about SpongeBob being like this outlet for him.
Yeah, it's cool to see.
Real quick, I'm kind of curious what the tricks are in this boss fight.
Honestly, there's not too much other than like the way like that I had myself positioned. Like you can get Sandy to like walk along the tight or like go bounce off the tight ropes
Okay.
like somewhat quicker.
Yeah.
Depending on where you're positioned, she'll like run all the way across the ring. But if you position in the way that I was for most of that, you actually get her to like instantly go across.
Okay,
like,
for sure. Yeah, because it
yeah.
looked pretty
But what-
honest. It just looked
that's
like good
what-
positioning.
Yeah, it's like that's one of the one things about this run that kind of sucks is most of the boss fights are like really repetitive
I see.
or like there's not as much tricks and like maneuvering that you can do
Gotcha.
as opposed to the rest of the game.
Okay.
Favorite things about that fight is the
Yeah.
banner 5 in the corner, if you saw it there, where he's if somebody's in chat, if you can go back and clip it, if you
Wait, you sent me the picture. I can just post it in chat if I have link privileges.
You should, yeah.
Yeah, cool.
but it's basically a picture of SpongeBob like nerdy as hell in his swimsuit thing, except he's wearing boxing gloves on his hands. I think
Yeah.
it's-
Yeah, Larfin, that
Oh,
sounds
shit.
right.
This part right here is pretty cool. So like what I'm about to do right now is I'm gonna grab this like that little item on the ground there. It turns SpongeBob into a ball and he like rolls around. It goes right away once you start walking, but if you can like see the way I'm jumping, he kind of has this little landing animation, and if you don't walk, you can keep it, and then what you do is you jump all the way over here,
Oh.
and you can use the ball to like you'll see it on stream right now, but yeah, you can get over here with that trick. It's pretty cool. I did it earlier, or like you can use the ball to like get yourself in places that you normally can't, because it changes the way the momentum and stuff affects them.
Yeah, I see that just now. Okay, yeah.
This
thanks.
part right here is gonna not make any sense either. I'll explain it once it starts happening though.
Thanks for the links. You mean?
Yeah, you got like a good like minute or two before shit starts popping off.
Okay, for sure.
Sick.
Alright.
Yeah, what you was saying about that picture that I pulled up in chat? Yeah, it's just another like thing about this game. So this came out, I think like before Hillenberg had left the show and like before the movie, and so it was still like the original SpongeBob run. But none of the writers from the show were involved with this. It was just like, but I guess whoever they had on staff were just like big fans, because you have all this like these really like deep cut references and stuff coming in, like that picture I showed, and yeah, like a lot of the levels from this game just come from like individual episodes. Like I think there's like a rock bottom level later, right? Like a
Yeah,
dream
they got the
level.
Mermalair, Goo Lagoon. What else is there? They have SpongeBob's Dream too. That's a part of the run. Kelp
Yeah, so
Forest.
some of those
Yeah.
literally only appeared in like one episode, and they just like, dug it up and were like, cool, this would make for a good like level in the game, and they were right.
Yeah, it's always scary with licensed games where it's like this could be terrible and just like a template of another game just slapped with like a SpongeBob skin or
that's
a
most
Simpsons skin or
games.
whatever.
Yeah, I gotta say, this is when I saw this being speedrun, I thought this was gonna be like a cheap spin-off kind of game, but it's a pretty active community, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, is this the trick that I think?
Yeah, so this trick right here, it pretty much like changed the entire game once it was discovered, because it's pretty much like an exploit to get an infinite amount of shiny objects, which is like the currency in the game pretty much. Oh shit, if I can get it right. Pretty much this little skee ball like setup here, SpongeBob has a little bowling ball, and if you like the way it normally functions is you throw the bowling ball, and you know, depending on where you get it at, you get a set amount of points. What I'm doing right now is setting up these two tikis, and once I switch to SpongeBob and throw the ball, it's gonna like clip in between the tikis and just infinitely go on. So you just get a shit ton of money.
Yeah, I remember watching Danny do this trick. It's pretty interesting.
It's,
Do you know,
sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna ask, do you know if people are excited for like the HD remake of this game coming out?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Shift is like super hype about it. Like he's been covering it a lot. The like people developing it actually have been in contact with them and like they've like I'm pretty sure the rest of the community too has been pretty open with you know, making sure it all goes well.
Yo, let's go.
Yeah, this is super sick. This is actually a really nice setup. Sometimes you can get it like, sometimes the ball will like fall out. Sometimes the rate isn't as fast as you know, the frame rate of the game. This is actually a pretty good setup I got here.
Good stuff.
Nice. Yeah, it's like sometimes with re-releases when people like when they remove like different like glitches and stuff for speedruns.
Yeah, and that's been a very like centralizing thing because like they don't want any like glitches that like I guess interrupt the casual playthrough of it.
Yeah, I don't think this
So-
game had that many of those though.
No, like most of what I'm doing here would not be discovered unless you were like, you know, actually trying to do something like that.
Yeah.
This is one of the
Yeah,
most
right.
satisfying things in speedrunning. Just infinite money and
Seeing the
points
numbers
coming
go
in.
up.
Yeah.
That's the basis of so many games. There's just, of course, Juno the WoW players saying that.
I'll let it go for a little bit more. You usually want about a good like 45k.
And
Before you leave.
these points are used to do what?
There's like random things you can do, like buy. Like right now I'm about to buy like 7 spatulas from Mr. Krabs. You just pay like thousands, you know, per each one. And then there's
Yeah.
there's a couple of clams that you have to open up paying with shiny objects. So this ensures that you have like that'll be sufficient for the rest of the run.
Nice. You just made the whole game's worth of money.
Yo, what's up, Aaron? See Aaron in the chat. Thanks for the bits. Do you think they're gonna? I mean, is it THQ? THQ a company?
Wait,
still?
for rehydrated?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's CHQ Nordic that's making it. And I think there's some other studio. I forget what it has to do with a color. I think it's like orange or purple and something else that's working on it.
Okay.
Nice.
Or like the aesthetic of the game is kind of like the new movie a little bit.
There's a movie?
Yeah. It's like super bright, very colorful. From like the few little gameplay like clips I've seen of it and whatnot. It's still
Yeah.
like really early in development though. Like I remember Shiv talking about how the movement looked a little bit stiff compared to you know, the original.
Right.
This is gonna be the melee of SpongeBob.
But yeah, to answer your question, Juno, yeah, there's a new movie came out. I don't remember quite when. I think it was.
What, probably like a couple years ago or something? Maybe even sooner. if
Is
my
that like the
memory's
Adam
not-
Water one? Like,
Yeah.
The live action part? Yeah.
live action for most of the.
There I was supposed to grab the ledge, but since I missed, there's just a pretty easy backup that you do. Oh shit, messed up the backup too.
Now he's in rock bottom. But yeah, speaking of the new movie, like wasn't involved in the first movie. He was a little bit.
He was
with,
there for
season-
like. Yeah, they like he like supervised some stuff, but he wasn't like, you know, writing it the same way he was before.
Right, exactly. So like he wasn't really involved in most, especially like season 5, season 6, 7, 8, and then when the second movie was in development, they brought him on to help write it. I don't think he like co-wrote it, but he definitely had a lot to do with the writing of the second movie. that came out in 2015. Thanks, Fleetleadle. I like came back, and I think SpongeBob kind of got a semblance of its old soul back, just a little bit.
Yeah. I don't know. Should we get into like Hillenberg's kind of progression, in the beginning, all that?
I think let's show that. Remember that one clip with SpongeBob with the water hose?
All right, give me one sec.
Good. Which one to show? If you want to show that, yeah. I mean,
Can you
Not
highlight it
sure
real
which
quick?
one.
where is it? Grab with some good animation.
Okay. Yeah, it's on the stream now.
Oh wait, is this the new thing?
Yeah, I figured we'd start with how like this is kind of like when Steven Hillenberg returned a bit, and how the animations compared to the
Yeah,
old
it's
ones.
like visually pretty good, but you can tell with the newer style, like I don't know, they definitely changed how the characters emote and stuff, and a lot of it. Not so much here, but there's a lot more like gross out humor, stuff like that. It's less in line with the original run, but
Right. Even like the way SpongeBob's acting right now, like him leaning against the door, just like slithering over like Mr. Krabs. It's kind of like you wouldn't really see the first 3 seasons of SpongeBob really acting like that, like kind of. But it's still got like the animation itself is like.
Hey, are you far from your mic, Avian?
Like,
You're really quiet now.
is this better?
It got like really degraded.
The internet like has been being weird for a while. So like,
damn.
Yeah, that jump I did there, that used to have me so messed up. I used to spend so much time here at Mermalair because of that jump, and then actually this part coming up right here too. It's not that like intensive, but you just gotta make sure you're precise with it.
You got
Make
it
sure
first
you
try?
platform correctly. Huh?
You got it
Oh,
first
yeah.
try? Nice.
my voice better now?
Oh yeah. See, like I messed that up.
It still sounds like you have like some internet distortion.
What the hell?
Are you on Discord on the application?
On the desktop thing, 'cause I don't have the app.
Get the app. The desktop is trash. The browser version of Discord is trash.
All of that right now.
Oh
Yeah.
god damn it.
My bad. I should have asked that before we started.
No. Works.
Oof. Oh, so you just reset from level select?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Oh man.
That was actually so sketchy.
Hey.
Nice.
Let me actually make sure I don't die. Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, are you using the app?
I'm using like the iOS app.
Okay, let me leave it in the desktop one.
This
and then
sounds
go to
good
the-
right now, whatever you're doing right now, Avian.
Alright, we're just gonna cleanly run through this real quick now.
Rip.
Sup, Nick? Welcome back. This is Battle for Bikini Bottom.
Hello?
Sup, Avian? This sounds
Is
good.
that any better?
Yeah, this is a lot better.
Oh, okay, sick. Well,
Yeah, there we go.
Nice.
okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you actually changed anything, but this is better.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I just used the app.
Yeah,
instead.
yeah, this is a lot better.
Side
Anyway,
note: why doesn't Discord let me download it to where I want it to? It just goes wherever it wants.
sketch.
Anyway,
Sad.
Thanks, Frost, for 24 months at tier 2. Hope you're doing
tier
well,
two.
Alex.
Shit.
Damn, Frost a homie. What's up, Alex?
Another Indiana gamer.
What's up, Nick? Maybe if you bothered to read the tweet, you would know what this is
Damn.
about.
Damn. So what were you saying,
can't
Avian,
not-
before you got cut
Oh,
off?
I don't remember. What were we talking about? We were talking about the art and animation,
Yeah.
right? As compared, like these later
Yeah.
seasons to the earlier stuff.
I'd rather, let's see, if we get into Nornberg a bit before that and kind of
Oops.
go from there, you know?
Okay, you want to like do the whole? What are you thinking? Like his interactions with the show.
Yeah, just like the progression, like before the show, like how he was, he studied marine biology and art in school, and so
Yeah.
like marine biology ended up directly influencing all this stuff, even though it's like super cartoony. There's like randomly some things that are accurate to science. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I can say stuff like, he was at a college, like a state university, and he was a marine science major, and I think he had a marine science major and a minor in art, and he always felt like he should have gone into painting or animation. So he kind of did the thing of like, there's more jobs in marine biology or marine science, so I should focus on that. But he ended up working at this place called the Ocean County Marine Institute in Southern California, and he did a couple things here and there, but then finally found his spot, where when he was teaching kids about marine animals, ocean animals, and the stuff that he was actually really passionate about. And this is where this place where he had this job right out of undergrad is where he made this little comic book called the Intertidal Zone. And this little comic has little factoids and this narrator called Bob the Sponge. And Bob the Sponge would take you through different things like, here's a starfish or here's a crab, and this is how a crab, acts in a tidal pool and things like that. And so obviously, you can tell by the name. Oh yeah, nice. Yamin posted it in the chat.
Yeah, it was like
this
an
little-
actual like ocean sponge instead of kitchen sponge.
Yeah, which even when he was creating the show, he first made SpongeBob look more like this, like an ocean sponge, before he ended up making him into a kitchen sponge.
That's pretty sick. I didn't know he was actually into marine biology, but that makes a whole lot of sense. Nice job on the gold, Danny.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, good shit, Danny.
Some gloss.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
but
usually
it
miss
makes-
that jump up in rock bottom.
Yeah, it's funny because his background like makes a lot of sense
9
with like
months of
knowing
me
all these animals
about
and
it so
everything. But at the
hard.
same time, there's still like fire underwater because it's a cartoon. They'll like know when to care about real science and when not to.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
fun, yeah. Having that sort of balance.
Right. They
I almost
walk
fucked
around.
myself over, but I actually saved it. Thank God.
Nice.
Saved. Thanks for 9
What
months,
almost
Nate.
happened?
Welcome back.
What almost happened, Danny? What did you almost mess up?
I almost missed a sock, but I actually did just mess up, so doesn't really matter. Yeah, I almost
Damn.
missed a sock. You gotta get 20 of them for the end. I mean, there's some alternative ones I could have got, but yeah, that would have been pretty shitty to miss.
Yeah, but to continue on with that, what he was doing, so he was at this like Ocean County Marine Institute making this little thing, and I think he had tried to get the little comic published with Bob the Sponge, but I think he got kind of discouraged when it wasn't
Oh my
published.
god, I'm getting fucked. This Chuck is chucking these rockets. He's sniping me. He's calling me out.
You got
Oh my
this, dude.
gosh.
Yeah.
You clipped through everything. God damn.
Yeah, but yeah, most of that original comic he made like isn't publicly available or anything. I don't know if it's like still at that institute or if just because like it never succeeded, if it's just like lost at this point. I don't know.
yeah, I mean, I
But
hope
then he
they-
got more into like other animation gigs. Big part on Rocko's Modern Life.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like where he became like creative director, and a lot of other SpongeBob staff members started on that show, which at this point is kind of like niche. It's not like obscure because it's become like sort of cult classic, but
mm-hmm.
you know, SpongeBob is the one that like really broke out.
Right.
I noticed there's kind of a parallel more recently with Flapjack and Adventure Time, where Flapjack was like the Rocko's Modern Life, and Adventure Time was like the SpongeBob, just on like a smaller scale.
For sure.
Where a bunch of the staff members were on both, but one of them completely blew up. The other's like a bit more obscure now.
Yeah, with the one like main writer being Pendleton Ward, who created Adventure Time.
Yeah.
Right. And yeah, with Steven Hillenburg, like and actually during the time he was at the Ocean County Marine Institute, he was going to animation festivals at this time, and that's where he met a lot of these people. Like Joe Murray was one of the dudes. He was creating Rocko's Modern Life at that time, and that's why he decided to bring on Steven, because Steven made, what is it called? Wormhole, right? Wormholes.
Yeah.
We have that in the clips thing. If you can just throw it up and have it play through without volume.
Yeah. Can you highlight it
there
real quick?
is.
Yeah, it's like
Thank
the second one.
And so this was his thesis at Cal Arts, and it's something that he submitted to an Ottawa International Animation Festival, and it actually won like Best Concept, which is pretty dope. Like pre SpongeBob stuff, and just like still making cool stuff at Cal Arts.
This is cool to see.
Right? It's interesting to think about like somebody's like their beginnings before they were huge. And I think it's another thing to be like another thing for inspiration if you're in any kind of creative endeavor. It's like even if you're making something and you think it sucked, you might like come back to it 10, 20, 30 years later and be like, oh, this actually was like a pretty good place to start.
Yeah, like plenty of stuff doesn't go anywhere, and then
Oh yeah, the city does kind of look like early SpongeBob Bikini Bottom.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I think they can apply to really any creative endeavor with like, even like I guess like early Mail Everyday streams where it was just like, like just starting out, and it's also like doing photography or something for early Rubicons. Look back at that shit, it's just like fuck.
Oh man, yeah.
classic.
What's wrong with my color palette?
Dude, the first overlays for Rubicon were so rough. And like,
But now look at.
yeah, now we're good. So, how long is this animation?
This is around, I think it's 11 minutes, right?
Okay,
Yeah, we can just leave it on while we're talking a little more, and then probably cut it off early.
for sure.
That's 7 minutes, yeah. Yeah. But at Cal Arts, he was doing something with, it was experimental animation, where, like, a lot of people like to use different mediums that's not just, ink and paper, or things like that. But I like that he went the traditional route with more experimental themes instead. Stuff like this, wormholes, considering, it goes over the ideas of, like, relativity, and, like, wormholes, obviously, is the name of the...
Dude, Danny, you just saved like 3-4 minutes. Holy crap!
Did I really? I don't know if I did.
You were like,
These 3 minutes.
you were like 4 minutes. You were like almost 5 minutes behind, and now you're only like 1 or 2 minutes behind. Keep it up,
Nice.
dude.
I hope I didn't like accidentally split incorrectly or something. I feel like I don't know. I feel like I'm just about on pace with like a normal run. I don't know about my PB, but yeah.
First one's warm up.
This fight, like I was saying with the other, or like on the earlier boss fight, most of the boss fights in here are like pretty repetitive and like kind of just sit there and wait for them to do their thing. Like there's a little bit of like there's like a manipulation trick you could do to like position them, like position Robopat the right way here, but I'm not that advanced. More or less kind of just react to where he goes.
Right. Are you eating something? I mean,
I was. I'm not.
okay.
Yeah, I was wondering what that was.
Crinklies, man.
Sorry, man.
Crinklies.
Why is it? Why are these Texan flat or states?
Oh, these are like pretty much like I don't know what the word is. These are just for Sandy to swing on their lasso. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to get hit here.
Okay.
Like the Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, like any rope thing in a video game. Vines and Donkey Kong. Hookshot.
Yeah.
Yeah, Spider-Man 2 swinging, PS2.
Classic.
Amazing. What's the story behind the robots again? Why are there like...
I think Plankton made them.
Oh, right.
Yeah, if I had to guess.
Yeah, this was like
Yeah.
a plankton type room.
It looks like Patrick with like anemia.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting how like every like bigger SpongeBob thing, like games and movies and stuff, they gotta make Plankton into like a legitimate threat. While in normal
Right.
episodes, you know, doesn't really go anywhere.
Yeah.
Never really gets close to succeeding because it's all like, you know, comic relief.
Right. It's kind of like Ice King in Adventure Time, where it's just like he turns kind of into just this, you know, kind of pitiable character.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the reason I take those hits like in the past few like rotations or whatever is just because if you don't, he kind of just like keeps chugging out shit until he hits you.
But yeah, let's see. Yeah, we were talking about some like the pre-SpongeBob stuff Steven Hillenburg was doing. But yeah, then when he was actually doing SpongeBob, he took the stuff from Intertidal Zone where he was making that like educational comic about Bob the Sponge, turned him into like, you know, Kitchen Sponge and tried to like, you know, make an actual like world and story around it.
Yeah. There was a couple other... I mean, yeah, I think it was, like you were saying, like, taking really ridiculous things like, you know, like live-action cutaways, like the perfume department, like we were talking about.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Or just, like, you know, making SpongeBob into this kid that's also an adult. I think it's a really big theme throughout the, especially first 3 seasons of the movie.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, especially with the movie.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
movie had that whole thing about it where he was like a kid becoming an adult. Yeah, now that we're men, that whole song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like when he's telling Sandy, I am a man, and he holds up the razor.
Oh yeah, that part. Yeah, that's good.
But I think that's... we watched a couple of interviews where Tom Kenny said this, Steven Hillenburg said this, a couple other writers on the show said this, that they were really influenced by like other man children that were on TV. Like Pee Wee Herman. Pee Wee Herman's a really good example because he's, you know, this dude that lives by himself. He's self-sufficient, but he's also just this like a weirdo living in a room with like a bunch of Rube Goldberg machines
Damn,
doing all his work for him.
that's a pretty good example of that archetype.
Oh, yeah, right here, this is the part of the so like after I killed Patrick, you now get the cruise bubble, which is pretty much just like a missile. It's like a projectile. You just like it's like a homing missile. You can just like, or not really a homing missile. You control it yourself.
Okay. It's like a remote controlled
But
missile.
yeah, oh shit.
Is the official name the cruise missile?
Cruise bubble, I think, since it's
Okay.
yeah.
Cruise.
But yeah, as you can see, I'm like using the bowling ball and then like also the cruise bubble, and what it does is it like stores the speed SpongeBob's going at, and then like pretty much just perpetuates it, and then you do it twice so that you just go even faster,
Nice.
and it allows you to make like jumps and stuff that you can't normally make.
Yeah, these are big jumps.
Yeah, there's a lot of it. There's gonna be a lot of that like happening in this latter half of the run.
I can only really see it on the stream because I think I'm a little behind. I
Oh,
can't see.
yeah, Rosebud, I just realized this is on autoplay.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
You could go to the.
actually, this doesn't. Yeah, if you want me to go to a different clip, this is fine. But I actually didn't know this is what the people look like.
Yeah, you could leave that open for that. It's cool.
There we go. Yeah, go out of bounds here. Just run around the whole map.
Ooh, okay.
But to bring it back to like the man-children thing,
Yeah.
they mention they mention a lot of other people like Jerry Lewis. I thought a lot of mid-century people. I feel because obviously the people who made the show were like 30 something in the 90s, meaning they came up in the 60s and 70s. The people like Jerry Lewis, who like in Rockabye Baby was playing this idiot, basically an American Mr. Bean. Stuff like Charlie Chaplin too, and like the Three Stooges, and I think you can see that a lot in like the slapstick that SpongeBob does, and like random cutaways, where it's just like a lot of the physical humor I think is really influenced by stuff like the Three Stooges or like even Mr. Bean, for sure.
Yeah. One of the big things that Hillenburg wanted to make sure about with like SpongeBob and like being a kid though was he wanted to not make him actually like a kid. Nickelodeon like wanted him to be like a school-age child. But Hillenburg thought that'd basically just be like Hey Arnold underwater. And so they compromised by making it so that SpongeBob's still in boating school, so they could do some like school-type premises. But he wanted him to be like an adult with his own life and shit. It's kind of cool.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, right. He's like a fry cook. He's a fry
Yeah.
cook. He lives by himself with his pet snail.
Thanks
Oh,
for
shit.
16 months, apple juice. Good luck at work, Josh.
Yo, what's up?
Yeah, one thing more recently which kind of sucks. So with like Steven Hillenburg passing away, was that last year?
Yeah, about
Yeah.
almost less than a year ago.
Yeah, yeah. So sad for a lot of reasons, but Nickelodeon of course did a lot to have like tributes to him, like big tribute video to the series, and like But one thing that kind of sucks is that they're doing like a mini series now about SpongeBob as a kid, even though Hillenburg, while he was alive, said that he was literally planning to walk out of Nickelodeon if they made SpongeBob a kid.
Oh man,
Yeah, so it's
And then he died, and they just did it.
that's messed up.
yeah. Now they're just doing it like next
Man.
year.
I feel like I've heard of a situation like this recently with a different series.
That's just what
but-
these like big corporate networks do, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Money.
Really, it's like whatever the fuck they want to do if it includes money.
Yeah.
It's really annoying.
Like creator intent matters when the creator's alive. Once they're dead, they stop caring.
It's just it's so soulless.
Yeah.
Like if you let Steven Hillenburg's like the heart and soul, whatever he put into it, live on after his death, it's like a a tribute to him. It's like a piece of him is living on. But if it's like, well, the guy's fucking dead, let's do whatever he said he didn't want to do. Like,
Yep.
Whoa. Hey, whoa, hey, whoa.
Hey, whoa.
Hey, whoa. Or a terrible landlord. Yeah, exactly, Kaon. It's like a shitty landlord. Second you die, they're moving in people.
I was thinking of Kimba. Thanks, Carrie. Yeah, it was Kimba.
Oh yeah, that is Kimba. Yeah, for sure.
Kimba and Lion King.
Yeah. But really, I mean, yeah, after him dying, it's just like, let's put all this shit in there. Damn. And even like the whole thing surrounding his death was like pretty, I mean, it seemed sudden to a lot of people. I don't know if we want to get into this yet, maybe do it towards the end.
Sure.
But
Yeah, whatever works.
yeah, if you want to hear more about Steven Hillenburg, you can talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
Here we're coming up on the first boss of the game. This is supposed to be like the first spatula you get, but you actually save it for this part because it's just easy.
I love how the sub notifications are covering everything now.
Yeah, I had to turn off the sound at least.
No, yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
But thank you, Nate.
Danny was talking about something, and I was like, wait a second. wait till the shit leaves, and then I'll see it.
Welcome to the Nut Hut, Fleetwood.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Brother. 13 gift subs. Big homie status.
So yeah, did you guys want to talk more about Hillenberg, or did you want to go back to another topic?
We can continue with Hillenberg, and I can kind of explain like what ended up happening. I mean, after he left SpongeBob in like season 4 or 5, and he stopped overlooking stuff, being like I guess a final editor over the stuff that was going out to Nickelodeon being animated. He did this. It was like a short little 2-minute thing that I couldn't find. It's called Hollywood Boulevard, and it was really just like it was like a personal film. I don't think it was really. It wasn't a real big thing. It was just like him animating people walking around his town. That's really the only thing I could find him doing afterwards. Other than that, he did a lot of like philanthropy. He donated. He created this thing. United Plankton was like a production studio that he I think was either part of or created with some other people that helped produce SpongeBob. And they created a charitable thing and sent a lot of money to like marine biologists, marine scientists, and people who are interested in like that area, as well as animation programs at like Polytech or his old alma maters, the state school he went to in Cal Arts. I think that was really cool that he gave like a couple million. I think it ended up totaling out to all these schools
Okay,
and
wow.
promoting the things that he used to do.
Yeah. But yeah, a big thing with him was like being private. Didn't become like much of a celebrity really. He just like made the stuff, but wasn't in the public eye a whole lot. You know?
Yeah, which is why like in 2017 with his like ALS diagnosis, which is Lou Gehrig's disease, I mean it was just starting out his ALS, so it was kind of surprising then to hear that he was like going public with something like this, where compared to other people who really like their privacy, like David Bowie kept his cancer diagnosis really private, even with the people he was working with. But I mean, for those who don't know, ALS is a neurodegenerative disease, so it affects your motor neurons, and it's always fatal, meaning like at some point you're gonna die from the disease, you just don't know when. And for Steven Hillenberg, that was about a year after his diagnosis in November, and he ended up dying at home because it spread to his heart, so his heart, like didn't have the motor neurons to keep working, didn't have the signals from motor neurons rather. And I thought it was pretty apt that he was cremated and his ashes were spread in the Pacific Ocean. And I thought that was like definitely the way, that's definitely the way to go for the guy who made SpongeBob.
Yeah, that's poetic.
Yeah, and like he was like super inspired by Jacques Cousteau and people who are obsessed with the ocean.
Yeah, I actually didn't know that either, but that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty cool like legacy overall.
Yeah, he was super young, 57.
Dang.
Under 60. Yeah, his mother's still
That's tough
alive.
to be diagnosed with that so early. I thought that usually didn't happen until like later years now.
I mean, it depends on like when you can get the diagnosis or when the symptoms start coming out. Because I think Lou Gehrig, he was in his 30s when Lou Gehrig got
damn.
him. Yeah, I'm gonna double check on that Lou Gehrig thing.
Super ultra mega monster combo. Nice.
Yeah, also what just happened right there is you can, like those lasers, you aren't supposed to be able to go through them obviously,
Yeah.
but like you can take damage while you're going through them and you just go through them.
Oh, okay.
They have these swinging tires here to climb upon while it happens.
All the Texas shit.
Yeah, I was wondering why you're just like going through these lasers.
Sandy's the only one that can swing, right?
Yeah.
I figured. Yeah, Lou Gehrig was 37 when he died from the disease.
Sandy.
Very young. Yeah, it's crazy. I think it's that was the ALS bucket challenge, right? The whole
Yep.
That was for that. Yeah.
Oh, I
Or
forgot about
like
that. Yeah.
Yeah, they actually ended up raising like $7 million for ALS research. It's really good. Yeah. And his kid, actually, Steven Hillenburg's kid, is I think he's at Polytech right now studying art and animation. So
Oh,
we might see,
running in the family.
yeah, might see some stuff from him.
Oh, I had no idea. Oh yeah, his wife is Karen, so they named Plankton's wife after her.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, computer wife.
50% C, 50% weed.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys noticed while I'm getting the spatulas, SpongeBob just kind of spins around still the whole time.
yeah.
That's the cruise boosting. Like it's always keeping you moving.
Okay,
So it
yeah.
allows for like pretty crazy stuff to go on.
I was wondering what that was.
That's got to be hard for like precision things, though, right? Like,
Yeah, you kind of get used to it. Like the movement is like pretty fluid though. So um, the one thing is it's pretty hard to just like go directly like turn around. Like you can't really 180 that well
right.
without like positioning yourself and like making sure you angle the camera. Like if you hold back, you kind of just like do it in a circular motion.
Oh, right. Yeah, I see what you mean there. Just
Nice.
Oh,
he's like strafing left always if you're running. That's pretty funny.
yeah, that jump is actually pretty hard to make. The one that I just went for right there.
Good shit.
You clipped on the wall for a second, right? That's why like it thought you were standing on the wall.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, what does the B button in midair do to your momentum, like the spin?
Oh yeah. So like when you use that attack in midair. Wow, I actually should have been able to make that jump there, but I think I just hit the slam too soon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So when you hit B in midair, it'll keep your momentum there. Like you won't keep falling, but if you do it any more than that, you'll actually descend pretty quickly. So you kind of can use it as
It's
a
like
stall, like one.
it's like Mario Galaxy spin.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How many years does this game predate Super Mario Galaxy?
yeah. Like
I think this
4?
was made in 2002.
Damn.
Oh, shit.
Nintendo stealing from SpongeBob games.
SpongeBob stole from Mario 64, and then Galaxy stole from SpongeBob.
What did Mario 64 steal from? You gotta go all the way back. You want to talk more about the art and animation? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, yeah. So yeah, there's some clips for that. I think we show them in order. So like season 1, yeah, we can start there. Like
Okay.
it's where
Are these the Twitter clips?
yeah, yeah. So season 1, they were still doing classic cell animation. Like literally everything was done by hand, like the traditional style, which changed in season 2 onwards. But like, yeah, we can watch some of these clips. They're good. It's impressive stuff, like fluid, everything. Yeah, season 2 onwards, they kept it so they were still like drawing by hand, but instead of transferring it to cells for animation, it was all like colored digitally.
Yeah, you get that sort of grain with the hand-drawn cell animation.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this
season 1 definitely looks really different from the other ones.
this clip
Yeah.
looks so different from the other one we saw earlier
Mm-hmm.
with the
You get
hose.
SpongeBob looking a lot less asymmetrical, less symmetrical. He's got like a lot more ridges
Mm-hmm.
than he does in later episodes.
Yeah, like more imperfections and stuff. In general, season 1, you know, they're still like coming into their own with a lot of stuff, and it's cool how it has its own identity.
Right. Yeah, I like those. I like those imperfections a bit.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Like, gives character to the animation.
Yeah. We can go to the next clip.
Okay.
It's another season 1 one. Yeah, we got like 3 season 1 things to show that are just good examples of that. What we're talking about.
What is? Kayon's asking what SpongeBob's saying in that clip with the truck. I don't remember.
I actually don't remember.
Yeah, because these don't have audio or anything, so.
Yeah. But yeah, you know, stuff like this is like, you know, very much the foundation of where so many SpongeBob episodes go with him like making the patties and everything, and just like entire plots centered around it.
Yeah.
So they
this
had
is
to
good.
set this up as like the basis before they could have, you know, like an episode where Patrick's trying to make it and messing up. And, yeah.
The lid. The lid.
The lid.
The lid. The lid. The lid. The lid. Yeah, like I think this specific animation that's on screen right now is a good example of the smear frames and how well they use smear frames for humor.
What is smear frames?
It's where a lot of like the in between frames, or like the what you're showing, you know, instead of it being like the character is just like in place, you see just like, you know, animation like smearing. Like there'll be
Like
you know,
a
like you
hand
can see
movement
something
thing.
is in motion. Like if you were to pause for a sec, a lot of the time, instead of getting like a still image of SpongeBob, he'll look like he has like multiple hands, stuff like that, because that's like how you show movement.
Oh, like this?
Yeah, yeah, like stuff. Yeah, I guess that's an example. Yeah,
With
like
the
that's supposed to be
hamburger.
one patty.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple of more extreme examples that I can
Yeah,
I'll post up in the
Yeah, could you go to the next clip? That might
Yep.
be a bit better.
Here, I'll post one in chat as well. Yeah, like right there when they left the frame. You get like
Oh yeah, yeah. The thing you posted in chat is like perfect for just like an individual
Wow,
sphere
yeah.
frame.
That's a pretty clear example, yeah.
Yeah. And there's a lot
Yeah,
of that
like-
in cartoons, and like they're real like important for showing motion.
so
Just like looks goofy when you pause it.
Yeah, those like they're usually like they turn the characters into just huge blobs or something, just
like
outlandish
eldritch
looking.
horrors, basically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm finding a bunch of good ones. I'm gonna post those.
Nice.
Nice. Yo, let's go, Danny. Ahead.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Oh,
like as
wait,
goofy
just
as they
went the
look,
wrong
like
way.
in motion it's super smooth. It like, you know, makes sense.
Yeah. It's really important in animation to have these because it gives like a heavier sense of like movement or like, you know, a characterization if they're moving in a certain way.
Yeah. And
Let's
then
see some.
season 2 onwards, they were still like doing hand drawn for seasons 2 and 3, but coloring it digitally. And I think, you know, it like looks really good overall, like visual design wise. But yeah, you have less of like this sort of movement.
Yeah.
And then season 5, which is one of the post movie seasons, they stopped doing hand drawing entirely and just made it all with tablet.
Oh.
Everything since then has been digital. And then yeah, like some of the more recent ones, there's like some good quality animation. It's just like it has some of the issues with modern SpongeBob that we're not super crazy about.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can start discussing that.
Yeah, yeah.
The bad stuff.
Do you want me to
Yeah, I think-
show the next clip or stay on this one?
Yeah, we can go on the next one then.
Okay.
Yeah. I think one of the biggest things for me personally is like how much they rely on gross out humor. They rely on like weird faces that you wouldn't expect. Like, there's no reason for SpongeBob to make the face that he does in some of these like gross
Yeah.
looking things. Like even here.
This one's
you see-
okay for the most part. It's like, you know, more character acting.
Yeah. It's fine, but like he also makes that dolphin face at one point. It's just kind of like I don't know. It completely changes everything about him. Like he has a jaw, and it's just like I don't know.
Like
Yeah,
very
like-
uncharacteristic from like what you remember of the show.
Right.
Yeah.
See.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I feel like I'm not looking at SpongeBob. I feel like I'm looking at like somebody that drew SpongeBob from like
Yeah.
from their memory or something, right?
This
And
does
so
look
some
like
of the stuff
Flapjack.
isn't like inherently bad. Like this stuff, for example, like this is well animated, I think. But
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of the stuff in the post movie. I guess we can go on to the next clip
Cow
and
and
just keep
chicken,
talking.
yeah.
Right. So you were saying something, Juna? What were you about to say?
I was just agreeing with Kaon and Carrie that this looks like Flapjack and
Oh yeah.
Cow and Chicken.
Yeah, that's a good good example. It's a good connection because I think Cow and Chicken, Ren and Stimpy, even sometimes Cat Dog would sometimes rely on some like more kind of like weird faces, gross out humor. Like Ed and Eddie would do that sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and early SpongeBob still had some of that.
Oh, for sure.
You know, it definitely had like Ren and Stimpy DNA in it somewhere with like, but
But
yeah,
like I
now
think you're good.
no, yeah, go on.
I was just say with those shows like Ed and Eddie or Ren and Stimpy, it's like it's a lot part. It's like a bigger part of what they were trying to do. That gross out humor, or being strange with it. But I feel like SpongeBob wasn't like that, and then it became that, which is which makes
Yeah,
it feel
it's
so
like-
weird to see.
Right,
Yeah,
yeah,
it feels like
after
it's,
Hillenburg
they're
left.
compromising the originality that they had or something.
Right. Like, hey, I'm saying here, like, Ren literally skinned Stimpy alive in episode 2, and it's like, if you're doing it that early, then it's, that's a big part of the DNA of the show.
Yeah. A big thing is they kind of just like went further with a lot of like the characters, making them less likable. There's like a lot of people call like Flanderization, because Simpsons, Flanders just became more and more exaggerated over time, and then especially like after Simpsons jumped the shark, now he's like not likable in general.
Yeah.
All that stuff, and so SpongeBob, I think it's been pretty similar for like basically every character. Being kind of polarizing at this point.
Yeah, I think you were talking about an episode where SpongeBob, like, was completely neglecting Gary, right?
Yeah, there's like a notoriously hated episode in one of the later seasons. I haven't actually watched much of like the post-movie SpongeBob just because I'm not that interested in it. But I know that episode is like it's like known for being like just one of the worst cartoon episodes, like worst SpongeBob episodes. Because just SpongeBob being a dick to Gary like the whole time, and then there's gross out stuff in there too. It's like that's like the entire episode. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you compare that to the other episode with, like, a SpongeBob Gary focus, which is where, like, Gary was running a race against...
Yeah. So that was the original run. That was SpongeBob being a dick to Gary, but, like, there was other stuff going on, you know?
Right, and even the way
There
that he
was
was
a
being a
reason.
dick... Even the way he was being a dick to Gary was, like, a parental way. Like, a parent at, like, Little League. Like, telling him to move faster and, like, pushing him to his limits instead of just, like, neglecting him, which is not a parental thing that... it shouldn't be a thing that parents do, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Oh yeah, and also now, so in general, just like the writing and stuff is less interesting. After Hillenburg left, it's just like not as good of a show. And now there's like a lot more pandering too, because they want like the old audience back. They know that that's like where most of the fan base comes from. I think like with reruns, they probably mostly still show early SpongeBob.
Yeah.
But like, there's that whole running gag where the guy breaks his leg and shouts "my leg" for like the whole early series, and they don't really acknowledge it. It's just like a fun little running gag. But one of the more recent episodes, they have like an entire episode just about that character breaking his leg, just like acknowledging the whole thing, which is just like very different stylistically,
It's so
It's
good.
very much, it's like feels very much like pandering, like they're just trying to get those old fans back. Like, hey, that like thing you guys noticed that was funny? Well, here's the whole episode about it.
Yeah, it's kind of like if you've ever been in a friend group or just something like that, and just like, or you're just like with people and someone like points out that something's funny that you guys are doing, and it's just like, dude,
We get it, yeah.
Yeah. Like that's why we do it.
yeah, like don't be so aware of it, just do it.
Right. They also brought back, there's that one-off gag of Nosferatu flickering the lights. They brought back Nosferatu in like another episode. It's like that's a one-time thing. You can't do that again.
Yeah.
Leave him alone. Let him sleep.
Yeah.
You were also talking about how, like, I mean, with shows in general, especially when they go on for long amounts of time, like it happens with any show, a live action, a sitcom, or anything like that. You're talking about how you have to keep upping the stakes, right? You have to keep making it more. More should be at stake for each character, because if you do the same plot over and over, it's just going to get boring, because we know what's going to happen. It's going to return to a normal. But I think that, like, also doesn't suit SpongeBob's everyday life with, like, these big, crazy, overarching things happening, unless it's like a movie.
Yeah, but then they like did even they do more and more of like the TV movies since then, and some of which are supposed to be like pretty bad. They did like a whole musical where yeah, they had David Bowie voice a character, but he didn't actually sing, which is kind of funny.
Damn, how could you? I didn't know anything about that. How could you not have David Bowie sing?
Yeah, pretty
Shit.
messed up. But
That kind of reminds me of with Moana. I feel like they couldn't get David Bowie, so they got Jermaine Clement from Flight of the Conchords. And
Oh,
they
yeah.
asked him to sing like David Bowie. With
to be
the
fair, he killed it.
yeah, the song was amazing.
That's
I
like
can
the
link
best
that.
part of the movie.
Yeah, it easily is. I want to post that in chat or Gina can play. I don't know. It's Disney, right?
Yeah.
No, we can't play it.
I'll post it.
Post it in chat.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't want Mickey Mouse fucking coming to my home.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
yeah. Let's see. Yeah. So in general, like they want to up the stakes, and like in the original run, you see that happen over time. Oh yeah, this clip's actually a good example of them like upping the stakes, getting like more bizarre again, which is like fine because SpongeBob was bizarre at times, but it's just a different direction. This is like well animated, I think it's like well done, but not really in line with the original style that much. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, this is quite
Right.
different from what I'm used to seeing.
Yeah.
Right. It doesn't feel like SpongeBob to me, at least.
Yeah, I actually haven't seen any of this era of SpongeBob, and it really looks so different.
Yeah.
Same.
And like this is something where I don't think it's inherently bad. It's just not something I'm as interested in. But
Right.
the thing about upping the stakes is like, they do that from the beginning. Like season 2 and 3, they start doing like more and more weird premises. Like having a whole episode that's just the training video for Krusty Krab employees. Having Doodle Bob, like pencil coming out of the sky, like a real like pencil, all that stuff. Like so they were upping it already, but yeah, more recently they just kind of felt like they had to just keep upping things more, and didn't always pay off.
Yeah.
Didn't usually pay off just because they don't have like good enough quality otherwise.
Yeah. I mean, you see that with the Simpsons too, which is like another show that's gone on for way too long. It should have died however long ago.
Right. Yeah.
You sent it to me it's like a while ago, but you talked about how like the Simpsons has turned into not Homer being in Ireland, or like him interacting with Ireland if he's in Ireland or if he's like in some crazy faraway place, but instead it's just like jokes about Ireland and not jokes about Homer being in Ireland.
Yeah, like where they lose sight of like making it character driven, making the characters interesting, and just make it about like what jokes they want to tell, which is like a little bit different.
Yeah.
I think it's like the distinction between like creating a world and like a cartoon, a series around that has these jokes as part of it.
Right. It essentially turns these characters into blank slates that you could just like insert them wherever and have it be like, here's a context, now make the context funny. And it's like, well, that's not how it always
not really
works.
how it works.
Yeah.
But like all the time like the character, like the jokes, you don't need like jokes with like punchlines specifically. Like the characters themselves, just being themselves, can be funny.
Exactly.
Yo, that jumping section had me sweating, Danny. That looks so fast.
How close to the end are you?
Dude, he's...
We're almost there, yeah.
Yeah, he's very close.
Are you in PvP?
We're pretty much on the last 3 spatulas. Like, I'm just gonna get 2 from Patrick right here from the 20 socks earlier. And then,
Yo, Juno, could you
there's
put
one more in the 10 bucket, and then the last boss.
Oh shit.
Nice. Juno, could you put the last clip in that doc?
Sure. The very last one?
The very last one.
Okay.
Are you in PB pace, Danny?
I don't know. I know I was, but I kind of messed up a little bit. So I might just be a little bit behind. Or...
Don't worry about it. Just keep playing.
Don't look at it. Don't look at it.
Yeah, you're good.
I didn't say anything.
The best Smash game. Sup, Threesome?
Yeah, continue on what Yamin was saying. I think it was yesterday. We watched a couple episodes to like get the idea.
Nice.
We like jumped around different seasons.
A couple different seasons, but I like distinctly remember like knowing a joke was coming, and I knew there was a joke somewhere. Part of it because of the tone, part of it because I had seen the episode before. But just like finding myself smiling before a joke even came, because of like how they're setting up the jokes, and it's just like you don't really need it to be like characters being funny. It's just like pretty much them being themselves.
Yeah, just the characters interacting because they're just very well defined. And
Right.
yeah, the voice actors kill it, which is a huge part.
Yeah.
But,
Like yesterday we were watching the episode with Sandy about to hibernate.
I remember
And
that one.
She wants to do a bunch of extreme things before she goes to sleep, and she's like, they're on the mountain, and then she like flies past him, and the dude turns into like he's like has a bike and has a lollipop, and he's like, I can explain.
classic.
It doesn't help to just quote it instead of just showing it.
That's why we had the clips before. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, the clip is up.
Yeah,
There's that one. I tend to do that a lot, just like talk about moments.
Yeah,
I'll post it in chat.
Sick.
Yeah, I can post in chat.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. SpongeBob just has like a very distinct world that Hillenburg made, you know? Like Tolkien-esque where everything has its place in a weird way. But
Yeah. Sorry, I was just watching the clip I posted. Just like the timing of that joke is incredible.
so good.
Because he flies past them and then he takes like 2 seconds to look
Alright.
down at what he's holding.
That's it.
Oh shit.
Let's see. Oh, nice. A PV.
Yo.
Oh, good shit, dude.
Hell yeah.
1:19:21 PB. Congrats on getting the first PB on world record, Danny.
Oh,
Well,
shit.
thanks,
He
dude.
PB'd by
First
1
guest
minute.
Brother, first PB.
Yeah,
Ah, shit.
1 minute and 13 was how
It's
much
a
he
good thing I
improved
set the bar pretty low for myself.
by. Nah, dude. You
Nah,
you were like
it
5
was
minutes
still pretty well
behind.
played.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was kind of spooked during certain parts of the run.
yeah, dude.
Able to clutch it out.
Like I think one of the hardest parts of these 1 hour plus runs is just like not giving up and like persistence. So
yeah, trust me. When I was practicing for this, there was a bunch of runs where I was doing really good, and then I got to like the dream, and I'm like, I started choking. I'm like, God damn it! I just gave up.
Nah,
Yeah,
I,
no.
that's impressive that you were 5 minutes
Yeah.
behind and then you still PB'd by over a minute. That's a
Yeah.
nut right there. Good shit, Danny.
Especially with us just saying whatever bullshit we're saying back here.
Dude,
Yeah,
yeah,
dude.
You know?
it must be hard to actually like focus on the run while you're on PB pace with people talking.
For real.
Yeah, we
Anytime
noticed
did
there was a
couple
point
times.
where you got quiet and you were just focusing. It's like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, Danny hasn't talked for a while, and then I look at the webcam and you're like really zoned in. And I'm like, oh, he's on
Yeah.
PB pace.
Fucking sweat dripping down his face.
Yeah, no, I got the dress shirt on. Like, I should have threw my fan on, but nah,
Nice.
we sweated it out.
Yeah, congrats.
Yeah, thanks.
shit. Yeah. You're talking about world building, right? We can.
Oh yeah. I mean, a lot of it stylistically, you know, they just like there's a lot of stuff with just like a SpongeBob flavor to it. You can see a lot of it in this game too. You know, between like bubbles being the aesthetic for like everything.
Oh yeah.
And like
Flowers in the sky.
yeah, flowers being clouds. And it's not just like what they show, like for what's actually like in the world, but like, you know, the show has for transitions the bubbles going across the screen,
Hmm.
stuff like that. You know, it's like very distinct, very like much one cohesive thing. You know, one world.
Yeah, I never
Yeah.
thought about those bubbles, but it does like add so much flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, trying to come up with a transition for anything. It's like transitions, I think, by like their nature are just kind of like cheesy. They're kind of campy, right? It's like
Yeah.
it's hard to do a transition naturally, like also in conversation or even like in a production. But I think doing something like that, giving that kind of characters, is really clever.
Yeah. And then you know, the way like the series does its music and everything, like very distinct with like sea shanties and like
Yeah, even just like the interstitial music, just being it's like a lot of accordion. It's a lot of yeah, you know, those sorts of things.
ukulele, you know, all of that.
Right, like Hawaiian
Somehow it
music.
just kind of works. Yeah.
I think even in the pitch for this show, he brought in like a tank of fish, and he brought in like little things that he had made for the aquarium, like little things of SpongeBob and Squidward, and put him in the tank. And he brought a ukulele and was playing some like Hawaiian music and wearing a Hawaiian shirt. And he came into the pitch like that, and like one of the producers, Derek Dryman, Derek Dryman was like, "This is like the best pitch I've ever seen." It's amazing.
That's actually so sick. I didn't know that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, in terms of world building, it's like you compare it to things like you said, J.R.R. Tolkien, right? It's like I think Tom Kenny said that in an interview.
Yeah.
He was like, it's like a J.R.R. Tolkien-esque like way of building a world, because I don't know if you said the specific quote, but he was like, with SpongeBob, I think Tom Kenny said he felt like it was instantaneous, where he like looked at the character and was like, I know what this dude sounds like, and I know like how he acts, like what kind of person he is, because I think Tom Kenny, like, I guess, saw a lot of himself in SpongeBob.
Yeah.
And he was saying with Steven Hillenburg himself that like Steven Hillenburg just kind of had like a movie playing in his head of what SpongeBob was going to be, and Tom Kenny was like, I guess I just sounded like the dude that was in his head.
Yeah, he had done the voice once before as like this little elf character, where he was just like cussing a bunch. He recreated, I think, on Mark Maron's podcast.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
It's so weird how like easily he goes into the voice.
And when you've done it like that long,
yeah,
you know?
It sounds so like, close to his normal voice too, where it's just like a couple things change.
Like octaves higher, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's something I want to say. What was it? Yeah, you can go on. Do you have anything?
I thought the I don't know if we really had the time to talk about the like, I know you guys wanted to bring up the cultural like impact. I'd say it's pretty like, I think of any cartoon, I don't know if there's really one like SpongeBob in the like, in terms of like influence and like overall impact. Like I guess kind of like Mickey Mouse kind of compares in terms of like recognizability, but
right.
I don't know, Mickey Mouse definitely isn't as, they don't resonate with it, you know, with Mickey Mouse as, you know, as much as all the characters from SpongeBob.
I mean, most people, like, especially our generation, haven't actually watched much Mickey Mouse stuff. They've just seen him because he's in, you know, because his picture is everywhere, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I've gone back and watched some of, like, the 30s stuff. Some of it's cool, but, like, that's not, like, what he's known for anymore. He's bigger in, like, Kingdom Hearts, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn,
Especially...
Disney just made a Kingdom Hearts JRPG character.
Pretty much.
That's hilarious. But yeah, like, especially in his like first couple seasons, him becoming like the insane phenomenon he was, like being talked about in newscasts, and like I remember watching, there's this documentary I watched in preparation for this, and it was like they had inflatable SpongeBob things at Burger King because they had like SpongeBob toys, and the SpongeBobs kept getting stolen. And there was a bunch of like newscasters that were like, "What are vandals doing to this SpongeBob thing?" And it's just like, Steven Hillenburg. They bring up Steven Hillenburg on camera, and he was like, "Nobody's doing anything to them. They're just taking them. Like they're just taking them back home and inflating them at home, just have them for themselves."
I like vaguely remember this toy coming out.
Yeah. Like he even got to the point where there was like speculations. I think they did something with some charity that was pro-tolerance on LGBT issues, and there was like this whole speculation on if SpongeBob's gay or not.
Oh yeah.
And it's just like I think that was the only really like real controversy with SpongeBob.
Is he? I didn't know that.
I mean, there's
Like,
just
that's-
that episode where
like, that's
he and
canon?
Patrick, you know, raised the kid. It's not really canon. It's just funny to talk
Yeah.
about.
Yeah, they raised the scallop.
Oh yeah. That's a classic episode.
It's so good.
But I think
Oh yeah.
Steven Hillenburg has said that like he thinks of SpongeBob as asexual.
Yeah, I
he
can see
reproduces
that.
by budding.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah.
He's a sponge.
It's true. Yeah, they have a lot of fun like using his character design for different stuff. Because like when they want to make it like him like stretchy, they do. When they want his arms to fall off, he does. when they want him to have 13 fingers, you know, for like one scene.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Or Patrick with however many lashes.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
40 lashes.
It'll. Yeah, sure. Here, I gotta go take a celebration shot real quick. I'll be right back.
Hey, dude. Enjoy.
See you in a bit.
But yeah, talking about his influence, it's like really millennials. I don't think have anything that comes close to something.
As
like
far as like
that.
the biggest cartoon goes. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, for sure. I think like every kid's, even if they don't like SpongeBob or they don't even watch SpongeBob, they've seen, I guarantee, at least an episode or like a minute or two.
Yeah, and now Nickelodeon kind of like it's like their big thing, you know. I don't think they have any other like really good cartoon right now.
Yeah.
But SpongeBob is keeping them afloat. They cannot end it. They will keep it going until like I don't know.
Right.
They might just keep it going forever, you know.
Please don't.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's at 260 episodes now. I only care about the first 60.
All right.
200 episodes of that. I just don't care to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when you relate it to like something like Adventure Time, where like it went on for a while and there's some kind of weak stuff in there, but like eventually it ended and the ending was like super
I really like the
heartwarming,
ending, yeah.
heartbreaking, and really emotional.
I never
It's like,
saw
if
that.
you could do
Ending.
Yeah, that's
something
the
like
thing. SpongeBob was supposed to end with the movie. That's why he got like the promotion at the end of it.
Right.
Which personally, I'm not actually that big on the movie, but like you know, I think Hillenburg working on it as like the finale like made a lot of sense.
Yeah.
That's how Dexter's Lab was structured too. With Ego Trip was supposed to be the finale,
Oh.
and then that's when Gendy left, and then they continued it after, and it wasn't as good.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
Supernax saying in the chat, apparently Nickelodeon recently tweeted that we'd never seen SpongeBob's backyard, but I remember seeing in the replies.
That was so funny. The SpongeBob Facts account, or like one of theirs, they
Welcome
corrected Nickelodeon. Nickelodeon had to delete the tweet.
So good. Because fucking, actually, there was the episode where they're exchanging secrets through bubbles, and you're in SpongeBob's backyard at that point.
Yep.
So.
SpongeBob Facts knew. Nickelodeon did not.
Nickelodeon. Some intern tweeting like, "Oh shit, what have I done?" Yeah. Yeah, Carrie saying in the chat, it's like The Simpsons, it'll be a zombie show. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it already is at this point.
Yeah, it definitely is right now. But yeah, both of them, I think, have like pretty clear cutoff points. And there's are still like some good episodes later, but like, you know, for me personally, since I have like huge backlogs of shows I want to watch anyway, I just like try to do clear cutoff points. Like I only want to watch the first like 8 seasons of Simpsons.
Right, yeah. Or like 2 seasons for 3 seasons of Arthur.
Oh yeah.
Dude,
Gotta love
I think
Arthur.
season 2 of Arthur is phenomenal. It's actually so good.
I should go
many
back and
random
rewatch
cutaways.
that.
Seriously.
Nice.
There's so many good cutaways where it's just like DW. I think that's where that one thing comes from. It's like, this can't stop. This sign won't stop me because I can't read.
Oh yeah.
It's a
So
season
good.
2 thing. Yeah. I think we talked about a lot of the things we want to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna see like how much more you guys had left to talk about, and whether Danny should try another run or not. How are we feeling?
I think we
Another
covered
run?
most of it. If I don't know, if people have like questions or anything, we can just like talk more. I don't know.
Casual convo.
Yeah.
General conversation. Or like,
I was thinking SpongeBob, but you know, whatever works.
Well, like animation in general.
How
comedy.
about,
Oh
like-
yeah, animation.
I know we kind of like skimmed over it, but like, how about like favorite episodes?
Yeah.
For me, it's Chocolate with Nuts, Wet Painters, Band Geeks. I think are the 3.
Yeah, I mean, I have to say Bang Geeks because it's a joke.
I think
that every-
Band Geeks. Yeah, I think Band Geeks holds a special place in everyone's heart. That was
Yeah.
really good because like, a lot of the episodes where like SpongeBob and like Squidward interact with each other are like really enjoyable to watch.
Yeah,
like,
for
you know.
sure.
the contrast and like how they react to the scenarios and like how they interact with each other is so entertaining.
Yeah, and that was one of those episodes that kind of made a good use of like the entire cast of the town.
Oh yeah.
Which is one cool thing about SpongeBob. There are like so many minor characters, but like they're well defined enough that you can like do all that stuff with them. Um, and yeah, that's one thing with SpongeBob and The Simpsons actually kind of shares this, where you have a lot of characters who aren't like necessarily friends or enemies. They're just kind of weird acquaintances. Like they live in the same town or whatever, but they don't really interact outside of like weird casual conversation.
Yeah, which is
And that's
like
like cool. Like, you know, it's like real life.
yeah, it builds like a community. It builds like a sense of like you're living in a town, right?
Yeah.
Basically. Yeah, I really like that. And it's hard. It's hard for me to choose a favorite episode. I think it's just like a lot of them do different things really well. But like I really like the fry cook games and how they take like these two characters and they pin Patrick and SpongeBob against each other and just do like even just like Patrick dipping himself in chocolate like an ice cream cone.
Yeah.
Like that is just like so good.
Yeah, so many visual gags that are just like very lasting in my mind. But yeah, like one thing, let's see.
Ishii
Yeah.
was saying, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, so many episodes. Like, part of what makes it so they're so different is that they have like the different character focuses. You know, like a SpongeBob Patrick episode, a SpongeBob Squidward episode, SpongeBob Sandy episode play out really differently. Like, have different like gags they'll be going for.
Yeah,
And like
different dynamics.
procrastination, him just by himself, procrastinating on the essay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like different dynamics between characters, or even like it's like that whole what's that thing in English? Man versus man, man versus God, man versus
Man
artist
versus
or something.
society. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's kind of like that with like the one where he's writing an essay where it's like man versus man himself.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
Man
The
versus-
first 3 seasons, like in those alone, you have so many different like premises and directions the show goes, but somehow still like cohesive enough. You know, nothing feels like it's too out of nowhere for the show, even if there's like a couple weirder episodes. It's all very much like the same world, same characters.
Right.
It's really sick how they can like do that. Yeah,
Yeah, for like 60 episodes, which is like no small feat.
for sure.
Yeah. Is she saying in chat like was Drop My Wallet ever covered? And it's like it's weird that all the Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy episodes are like solid in the first three seasons.
Yeah,
There's like 3 or 4 of them.
there's 5. Yeah.
There's 5 of them in the first 3 seasons.
Yep.
Damn. And they were all solid.
It's
Oh, with
true.
Man Ray.
Oh yeah, those actually, even though this, the show's still going on forever, they've stopped including Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy after their voice actors died, because they wanted to, pay homage in that way, pay respect.
Yeah, I think I remember hearing about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's Ernest Borgnine, and who did Barnacle Boy? Barnacle Boy was Tim Conway.
Okay. Yeah, so those characters are like retired, but I'm wondering, like, if another major cast member passed away, like, what would they even do?
Right. Because it's weird to hear, because I don't know, certain Simpsons characters have different voice actors now, and it just sounds wrong.
Do they? I know, like, at least the main cast doesn't.
A couple of them. Yeah, they're all side characters. It's not like a Marge. Or
Yeah,
anything
yeah.
like that. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, anything else I want to bring up? Otherwise, we kind of exhausted our list.
Yeah.
Cool.
I don't know.
Dope.
Yeah, I think a lot of SpongeBob like I like the like all the like contextual stuff you guys were talking about. I was so focused in, so I couldn't really talk, say anything myself. But yeah, I really liked how you explained like the background of all the people involved in like making the show.
Yeah.
Or not all of them, obviously, but a good
Yeah,
portion
yeah.
of them, and like their significance in other like shows and whatnot.
Right. Yeah, I think that's I mean, a lot of the time when you're watching really any show or like, anything that's like comedy or drama or anything, it's like you don't see the behind the scenes stuff, right? I think it's also the same with production and stuff like Melee, right? You don't know like a lot of people's like streamers' names, right? Stuff like that. Almost like Gimmer. Like people know June because he streams, but you don't know like the people behind Waveform, right? It's like
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah.
Where it's like these people who are really making it happen, really putting their heart and soul in what's coming up on screen and what's coming out to the viewer. But I think it's really important to like talk about those people and why they're integral and like central to the show.
Yeah,
why.
and a lot of time, voice actors aren't really treated as celebrities the same way actors are in America.
Yeah.
So,
That's
like more
a good
recently, Tom
point.
Kenny did that big social media thing where he was like doing all these like short videos with like BuzzFeed and stuff, which we were talking about earlier. But like before that, I don't think a lot of people really knew about him and like his involvement.
Yeah, that's like even animation in general is like not really as respected as like, live action stuff. Like even with movies, like a lot of people really liked Into the Spider-Verse, but as opposed to something like, even though it was so well like received, like it didn't do numbers like any other Marvel like spin-off would.
Dude, it did worse than Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
It was pretty sad. Yeah.
Oh man.
Wait, is that the one where with Tobey Maguire becoming evil Spider-Man? Oh, okay.
No, it's one of the
It's not
ones with Andrew
Pizza
Garfield.
Time. Okay.
Like no one watched this one. Pizza Time, that one's good. That one's like a legit good movie.
Oh, okay.
Well, wait, is that the second one or the third one?
I think it's the
Tobey
second
Maguire?
one.
Yeah, the third one was a little weird in the
Third
Sam
one's
Raimi.
iffy. I kind of
Yeah.
enjoy it for being what it is, but it's not good.
Yeah. But yeah, Spider-Verse, I mean, easily for me is like the best Spider-Man movie. Period.
Yeah, for sure. Best superhero movie. I
Yeah.
feel like.
I agree.
I need to go back and watch some of like the 90s Batman stuff because I think people love like Mask of Phantasm, but
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, to go back to that, it's like, yeah, the animation definitely has the stigma of being, just for children. I had a point written here that was specifically about that. Where is it? Oh, right, yeah. I think millennials, especially today, I understand that like animation isn't just for children, and it's not just, like fodder for them. Even Patrick's voice actor, in an interview was like, when I first read this, I was like, man, this is just like shit for preschoolers. And now he's like, part of this big honking thing. They like, I think still with the first impression with any animation is like, okay, like this is for kids. It has to prove it otherwise before I can respect it, which
Yeah.
I don't really like, but it's
unless
still,
it's like a lot of modern adult animation, which will just be like super ugly, like Big Mouth. So it's like, oh, it's for adults because no kid would want to look at this.
Yeah, I think a couple of things that subvert that is like, I think BoJack has good animation.
Yeah.
I think it has like nice clean lines.
I agree.
And stuff like that. And like Tuca and Birdie, I really like what Tuca and Birdie did with like the BoJack Horseman template that they had, because it looks very similar to BoJack Horseman, but they do a lot of different like crazy smear frames, and they'll do a lot of really bright colors and like really more surreal things that are less realistic than BoJack.
What show are you talking about right now?
This is Tuca and Birdie, which was like
a
same.
No, I watched all of that too.
Yeah.
So,
How is it?
Because Ali Wong
I
is in
won't
that,
ignore
right?
you. I won't ignore you, Wang Cheng. I don't think hentai is just for kids though. I think it was geared towards them, but
Thanks, Curly W for
Good for the kids.
13 months. Welcome back to the Nut Hut.
Nice.
Yeah, Tuca and Birdie was a one season. It got canceled after its first season, but it's same animators and I think same producers as BoJack.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and it focuses more on like, I think it does emotional more than BoJack, but
Weird.
that's another conversation. I could go on about BoJack. Anyway,
Closing thoughts, you guys?
I'm so glad I didn't choke.
Yeah, dude, I'm
I'm
glad you got the PB.
There were a few moments where I was like, damn, I gotta stay composed.
What was
That's a breakout on
the
stream.
most challenging part of the run for you?
today it was probably here. Let me look back at the splits again. Let me remember what was going through my brain as I was going through each one. Oh, probably Sand Mountain when I kept getting hit by the stupid chug, like the
Oh yeah,
stupid
you like
bro I
kept
was throwing
clipping through the
rockets
floor,
at.
right?
Yeah, he kept hitting me with the rockets. That part was like, I was like, damn, I really hope I don't keep messing this up. The second part of Murmelair, or not the second part, the first run through of Murmelair, there was some moments where I was kind of getting stuck for a little bit. Probably those two parts.
But he came back, and he didn't even notice that he was like 5 minutes behind at one point, and he was like,
Oh,
well, I'm
yeah.
just gonna make this up.
He did.
Yeah, he really did. You got a couple golds.
Oh yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4 golds. Damn.
God damn.
God
Actually, a
damn.
few more, yeah. I don't know. I feel like I might have messed up a split or something, but
Yeah, I was a little suspicious, but and then you started.
I think it's like when I was +7. I think that's where I messed up a split. But what's really interesting is I don't know how I ended up back on track.
Yeah, dude.
I must have double tapped it. Like I must have forgot one and then like double tapped it the next time or something.
Yeah.
A broken split is right twice a day, twice a run.
What are your
Yeah. Well,
goals?
either way, the it's still PB'd, so.
Yeah. Do you?
Yeah, even if you messed up, we're too late. We're celebrating. Too bad.
What are you gonna be speedrunning next, or what? Are your goals with this game?
Honestly, when I was like when I had more time, I did want to like start learning the intermediate run. I wanted to get to around like 115 like consistently, like maybe get it a few times, and then start learning the intermediate part. And I'm glad you hit me up to like do this because it's definitely inspired me to like not only achieve that but then like learn the rest of the game. I know Shift is really adamant on like pushing 100%, so maybe I'll go on to like learn that too.
That's sick. Are you? I guess it depends on how the new game is when it comes out, but maybe you'd consider running that if
I
it's
think
viable.
either way I'm gonna play it.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be on like all platforms. So like it's gonna be on PC, so that'll be sick. I don't have like, I mean I have a Wii, or a Wii. I don't. Uh, I'm thinking of the old games still.
Yeah.
I don't have any of the newer consoles, but
Same.
yeah. I mean the fact that it's on PC, I mean I'll definitely try it out. It's probably, I'm not gonna say probably, it's definitely gonna be a different game than this one. I don't think they're gonna keep it, carbon copy of the same. But I think it'll still be a good game either way. Like this is a fun game to play through casually. I haven't in a long time, but it's pretty good because, like we were mentioning earlier, there's a lot of references and things thrown in there that like, add a lot of charm to it.
Yeah, it
beyond
seems
just,
like they
grinding for
really
completion.
considered paying homage to the show.
Which is great. Fucking licensed games half the time.
Did you guys want to go?
I'd say of the licensed games, this is one of the better ones to do it.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That reminds
definitely.
me of Simpsons Hit and Run, where they put in where you could kick people, and like they were like, Matt Groening might not like this, and then Matt Groening, and the first thing he did was like have Homer go kick Marge like a bunch, and he was like, "This is amazing."
Wow. Did you guys want to go over any of the rest of the clips? I know there are still a few more clips.
Were there? I thought we covered them.
Oh, okay. I'll play the last two that I haven't played yet. Oh, wait. It was just the guy chugging for 10 hours.
We can go back to the guy chugging mayo. Let's do it.
Let's go, Harold.
Oh, wait. I don't think we saw this one. Yeah.
Oh yeah, this one's good too, but
Oh yeah. You could do sound on for this one.
Yeah. Does anybody speedrun Winnie the Pooh baseball? I know a Winnie the Pooh baseball player.
Is it Yanni?
It's Muckfather.
Oh yeah, I've seen him do that.
Clint Stevens says.
I feel like it's a good game for like variety speedrunners or variety like streamers in general.
Why is it so hard?
I don't know, man.
Alright, I'm turning the sound off now.
It's. I didn't realize it was a 10-hour version.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we can go back to the Harold checking mayonnaise.
Yeah.
No, I like it.
Oh my god.
There we go.
I like how it started. Where you left off.
Do you? Well, I want to link the clip. Yeah, one sec. Which clip?
Here's Harold.
Oh
I
yeah,
got it.
Damien's got it. Thanks. What's the context of this scene?
The chugging mayo one?
Yeah.
It's the opening of an episode, I'm pretty sure, and Squidward's complaining about how everyone in the store, like in the restaurant's a fat ass and whatever, and the guy comes up and orders a fried Krabby Patty, and he forgets the mayo, he comes back, and he thanks, and then he goes back to the...
Okay,
He's
yeah.
the customer's happy, and then he just takes a bite of the thing and starts doing this with the mayo.
That's pretty funny. Yeah.
Classic.
Alright, guys. If we went through all the clips and the topics, if there's
Yeah.
anything else you want to cover before we sign out.
Yeah, we
might
basically
be-
just want to talk about. Oh no, what were you saying?
No, I was just gonna... Well, I mean, relating to SpongeBob, I don't have... Go ahead. I'll say this.
No, go ahead.
This is more of a closing off thing, like my plug.
Sick.
Has the music of
Go
the show been covered? So many unique
Yeah,
tracks.
we talked a bit about that. Just like how it has like a really distinct like style to it, with all like sea shanties and like accordions and all that,
It's like
ukuleles.
Tiny Tim in the first episode.
I had some
Yeah.
music playing somewhere.
Alright, we can link the Tiny Tim thing in the chat.
Nice.
Oops.
Yeah, I think people our age will remember this song specifically and associate it with SpongeBob. There you go.
Yeah, it is impressive that Danny got this live. Because if you guys remember when I played Mario on this in this context, it was so hard to focus, dude.
Yeah, I was definitely like shook during certain moments. Like I remember hearing people talking, and I'm like, I have no clue what's going on, but I just need to make sure I don't fuck this up.
Yeah, dude, that takes really good focus.
Nice.
Were you gonna say something? I mean, or
Oh yeah, I guess just for closing remarks, yeah, we just want to talk about like SpongeBob. It's really good. Steven Hillenburg was amazing at what he did. Shame he's passed away. After he left the show, it definitely got worse. But as an icon, SpongeBob's still huge, and yeah, it's a fucking good show.
yeah. I mean, I love what Steven Hillenburg did with leaving the party when it was getting good. I think that's something that a lot of people don't.
Yeah,
Frankly.
quit while you're ahead, that sort of thing, where you don't want to let something get bad before you end it. You should end it before then, but
But yeah, I mean, I pretty much agree with Yamin was saying. Yeah, I mean, this show is one of the most influential shows of childhood, along with a couple of other ones, and it's one of the reasons I want to go into creating children's television.
yeah.
So,
And I'm also going into TV writing. This is a big part of that for me. So yeah.
yeah. So I appreciate you letting us, rant about it for.
No,
Yeah.
you guys had so much to talk about the show. I'm really glad. Some people, you're like, oh, we can talk about SpongeBob for an hour, and yeah, you guys definitely know enough about the show. And
Yeah, no, I had fun. Thanks for letting us on.
yeah, thanks for coming on. Thanks for coming up with the topic, doing the research. I know you guys watched a lot before coming on to the show. I know we delayed a couple times too. Thanks for being flexible, guys. Danny,
Oh, yeah.
thanks for coming on too.
Yeah, I'm super appreciative for all of this. This is pretty fun.
Yeah, I'm glad
Yeah, good stuff, Danny.
you were able to come
There you go.
on.
PBing during this.
PB on a world record, the first one. Yeah, when I heard that Ayub and Yamin wanted to talk about SpongeBob, I'm like, oh, I know a SpongeBob runner. Let's get him on the show with these guys, and it worked out perfectly.
Yeah.
So thank you guys. But
Hmm,
yeah,
sure.
like Yamin was talking about, we should cut the show before it goes sour, before it goes long. So
A little too late, but you know, people love
all
how it
right.
turned out.
Yeah, any last questions in the chat before we sign out? Give the lowdown, when's the next world record and what's the topic? I've had a couple of topics proposed to me. I'm still supposed to get some of the EGTV producers on, like Carter and Earth,
Ooh.
Toby.
Yes.
We're still trying to schedule that. We have the topic. It'll be more about behind the scenes of tournament streaming.
watch that.
I know Aaron had a topic, like wanted to talk about Arcadians and brackets with Unsure from Chicago. Nick and Zetz had several topics they wanted to come on and talk about. So definitely want to keep pushing this. I really like having a guest speedrunner. I think that turned out great. It wasn't what I originally had in mind when I first came up with the idea of the show, but like I think having a featured speedrunner so we could get a variety of games is really good, and also different just perspective on whatever the topic is.
Yeah. One other thing, the RDT and I, we're kind of in the preliminary things. He's pretty busy, but we're thinking about doing one on late night comedy, like Conan, Leno, Letterman, Carson. So he was pretty interested in that. So at some point, I mean, it won't be the next one, but sometime in the future, thinking of talking about that at length.
Word.
Yeah,
I'd be down to come on at some point about something. I don't really know what.
I was gonna say any of you guys are welcome to come back on to talk about
Yeah, I
another
was gonna say,
topic.
I'd love to come back.
There is
The
a
other
Google
runners
Doc.
are-
There is a Google
see.
Doc with a lot of topics and people. Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, I think I remember looking at the doc a few times, variously.
If there's some sort of anime one, I might be down to join for that.
I love that you're getting the wrong command responses. These are really funny.
Spreadsheet.
Wait, what spreadsheet is this?
Probably the cereal one.
Oh, this is the Mario RTA spreadsheet. Hold on. I definitely have the link to this somewhere.
I think we need to do a couple cleanings of Nightbot's commands.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shit.
Hold on, give me 1 sec. Here we go.
Bro and Dory.
Glad that one's still going.
Oh, is it podcast? Oh,
No.
no. Podcast sounded right. Oh my
It's
god.
not Courtyard Internet, but
It's been so long since I... Okay, well, here's the doc. I forget what the command is, but here's the doc.
yeah, we'll look for it.
Yeah, let me know if you see it. This is the
Awesome.
doc. It has, you know, different speakers who want to talk about different topics. It's not really showing up on the stream that well, but like some of the topics we have. Hold on, let me see if I can move this. If I insert column left. So some of the topics we have, let's see, Smash commentary, fast food, superheroes, mental health was the first episode, but it can be something that can be covered again. Sports, video games, exercise, Pan and Coec, watch for Rolling Rocks, Kanye West. I think Josh, a Nintendo fanboy, wanted to talk about them.
Who suggested the Kanye one?
Apple Juice, I think. Also, whoever said 10 out of 10 stream, thank
That'd be a
you.
fun one.
Thank you for watching.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate
Thanks.
that. That guy, Brian.
Yeah, thank you. Was Panty Raid ever covered?
No.
Steve. Get out of here.
That's the thing, there's so many good moments in those first 3 seasons. We couldn't talk about all of them.
Yeah,
Yo,
the speedrun was an any percent run of Battle for Bikini Bottom, and Danny PB'd.
I mean, you want to talk about why anime is better than live action with Swank?
With Swank,
Yes, you do.
maybe.
Do it. Yeah, thanks, Super Nack. I appreciate it. We're hoping people would relate to it because it's SpongeBob and they love it. I appreciate you hanging out, talking about your favorite moments.
Yeah.
Yeah, glad people were in chat, hanging out.
Yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in. I know it's been a while since we've had a home stream too.
Yeah.
Thank you everyone who subscribed today and followed and hosted. Let's see here. I have a list. Let me start from the top. Zets resubbed for 11 months. Larfin resubbed for 22 months. He's 27 months in a row. Or sorry, 27 months total. Streamlord hosted for 98 views. Dongus Master used 50 bits. Frost aka Alex resubbed at tier 2 for 24 months. 2 years.
Tier 2, baby. God
Let's
damn.
go. Yeah, one
Nice.
big
God
homie.
damn.
Super Knack Nate resubbed for 9 months. 9 months of ME about it. So hard. Apple Juice resubbed for 16 months. Thank you. Nikki. Oh no. Nate gifted Fleetle Deedle his 2nd sub. This was, I think, Nate's 13th sub. Thank you for sharing the love. Nikki resubbed Prime for 13 months. And Curly W, thank you for 13 months as well. Thank you guys for continuing to support the Nut Hut. Welcome back.
Nice.
Nice.
Alright guys, I think that wraps it up.
Sick. Yeah, thanks for having us. Had fun.
Yeah, thanks again, Gina.
I will cut to a break, and I think I'm going to play World of Warcraft.
Nice.
You bastard. Anyway.
Alright guys, peace.
I-
Be right back.
Have a good one. See ya.
Alright, yep. Thanks again, everyone.
GG. I just beat DQ11.